Welcome to the How to Market Your Horse Business podcast. My name is Denise Alvarez, and I'm so glad you're joining me here today. We are going to talk about some super fun, practical things. But before we do that, I want to quickly introduce myself just in case for new friends, and then we will dive in. All right. So as I said, my name is Denise, and through my business, Storm Lily Marketing, I get to help dream chasing horse business owners like yourself to see clearly through the marketing overwhelm to help you create a cohesive plan for your social media, your website, and your email marketing that will turn your online audience into your customers. We do that through Take the Reins, my one-on-one coaching program, as well as website design and website copywriting, and then, of course, here on the podcast. My heart truly is to help you as an equestrian entrepreneur to be out in the barn or the arena or behind the camera lens doing what you love. And I say that because I know we have a number of equine photographers hanging out here, and I'm here for that too. So here on this podcast, you will get a mix of step-by-step strategies, essential how-tos, and entrepreneurial mindset shifts that help you not only see what's possible for your business, but I'm also here to guide you through that process so you can make it happen. Now, as I said, we have a very practical episode ahead for you, and it actually is a mix of those strategies and mindset shifts that I want you to apply in your horse business starting now and in the coming year. So one of the common questions that I get from just having conversations with people when they find out what I do is, how do I get more followers? How do I get more people to see my reels and my posts? How do I get more subscribers, right? The question is often centered around more. And yes, more eyes does mean more opportunity for conversions. So on the surface, it's not a wrong question, and I understand it completely, and you can have a smart strategy around that. But when it comes to booking clients and customers online, before you start asking the question of more, you need to first have a solid understanding of what's going to help you to do exactly that. What's going to help you to build your business using online marketing, social media, website, and email. What's going to help you actually get the clients and customers that are going to pay you, that are going to help you to do what you love every day. And focusing on the more, your follower count, your subscribers, your views, does not guarantee results. Let me see that again. Focusing on your follower count, your subscribers, your views does not guarantee results when it comes to your online marketing. Yes, a higher follower count can give you more eyes potentially, but most likely your follower count is not what's keeping you from booking clients and customers online. Building your horse business through online marketing, my friend, is not just about building a large audience. So when you want to have a number to measure, that means it shouldn't just be how many followers do you have or how many views do you have. I want you to consider shifting that mindset to measure what matters. What are the things that are actually going to help move the needle for your business? That is what we're diving into here on the podcast today. I'm going to share with you the things that I want you to pay attention to and some examples of what this really looks like in everyday horse businesses. So you will meet two equestrian entrepreneurs. I will tell you their stories, and you will learn how they changed their focus and transformed their messaging so that they can attract the right people. And then when they're asking about more, they're saying, how do I get more of those people to follow me? How do I get more of those people to send me messages? How do I get more of those people to become my customers? Let's dive in. All right, first, what I want to talk to you about is this idea of I have to have lots of views. I have to have lots of subscribers. I have to have lots of followers in order to build my equestrian business online, because that is not the key. Okay. Now, is the key getting connected with the right people? Yes. And we're going to talk about that. But if you're only concerned about numbers, if you're only concerned about virality, meaning I really just need my reels to go viral, I need my TikToks to get hundreds of thousands of views, and if that happens, then I feel like I'm successful in my business and how I'm marketing it. But that's really not the case, is it? And here's why, okay? You're not looking at this from a perspective of what are the key performance indicators that are really helping me to know this is helping to build my business. Because I have seen and met plenty of people who have those thousands of followers and are saying, yeah, I'm getting great traction, but it's not actually converting to customers, right? They're saying, I'm getting the views, I'm even getting some comments, I'm getting the shares, but how do I connect that to actually selling my online courses, to booking my in-person services, to bringing people in for clinics, bringing people in for training or lessons? All of those things, right? So if you're getting that traction and that success, congratulations. Then my question to you is that actually working for you? Is that traction converting to customers? And if it's not followers that you should always be paying attention to, if it's not the number of subscribers or the number of views, then what should you be doing to book your clients and customers online, right? That is exactly what I want to talk to you about today, because there are a couple things that are missing in your thought process that are keeping you from actually building your business using these great tools that we have online, such as social media, email marketing, and your website. Okay. So there are two specific things that I want to share with you today, two specific gaps that are missing for you. So here's what I want for you, right? I want you to have those thousands of followers, but I want them to be the right people. Now, as much as possible, okay? I know, especially honestly in the horse world, when you're sharing really beautiful pictures or really cool images, then you're going to get followers that may not be your customers. I get that. But as a whole, your content strategy is your opportunity to bring in the right people that are going to be your potential customers and ideally going to become your customers. But if these key areas that we're going to talk about today are missing, then you're not going to have that content in place that's really going to help bring in the right people that are going to become your customers. Okay. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the two things that are missing. Number one, you are not qualifying your leads with clear messaging. And here's what I mean by that. You have these great videos that are going viral, these pretty quotes over a pretty background, right? And that's awesome. But the content that's going along with that is not giving clear messaging. When they go visit your profile and they see, what are you about? Who do you help? Who do you serve? Do I want to follow you? It's not clear. They cannot tell from what you are putting out into the world, what's on your website, what your bio is, right? What your free lead magnet is, all of those things. If they are not qualifying your leads clearly, then they are not going to become your customers because they don't know if you are for them or not, right? So you're muddying the waters, and instead of really trying to get clear with the content you create and the messaging that you have so that you're getting the right people in the door, you're focused on what can I create that's going to get a lot of views? What can I create that's going to get a lot of shares? And yes, I want you to have engaging content, right? We've talked before on the podcast. If you listen to the How to Market Your Horse Business podcast, I've talked to you about creating engaging content, and that's very important. But if your focus is on the engagement and not on really qualifying your leads with the content, then you're going to be missing the mark, okay? It has to go hand in hand. So I want to share with you a couple of real life examples to really bring this into focus so that you can see, how does this actually play out in my horse business? Okay. All right. So the two I want to share with you today, they are clients that have been or are in my Take the Reins coaching program. And so we have worked together to really clarify their messaging so that they can do exactly what we're talking about here and turn those online views into their customers. All right. So number one, I want you to meet Addie. She is with Prime Equine. It is her business. It is her baby, and she is killing it. If you need some social media inspiration, send me a message. If you're on Instagram or if you're on Facebook, either one, send me a message and I will share with you. She's mostly focused on Instagram, and she's killing it. Like, she just does such a wonderful job. And when we first connected, I told her that, like, I love what you're doing. But the thing is, there wasn't a lot of clarity around who she was talking to, right? She knows so much. So what her initial verbiage or messaging really was just all around equine expert. She knows and teaches a lot about hoof care. She knows a lot and teaches about nutrition, equine nutrition, and performance and care of your horse and a holistic view, all these things, right? She knows a ton. She's brilliant and she's studied a lot. She has the certifications to back it up. So she's there as a teacher, but it was all around equine expert. And so that's not super clear, right? I mean, let's just think about it. I did a quick search. Horses are owned by 1.6 million families just in the United States. Okay. So this all around equine expert is trying to reach 1.6 million families, right, that have horses in their backyard. But the reality is that is not who she was the best fit for. It's just that there wasn't a lot of clarity around that for herself and for her messaging. So during our coaching time, we talked about what is it you want to create? What types of courses do you have and who are they a best fit for? Because she already had digital content available. And then she has consulting. So who are you really best fit to help? What does that look like? What's your personal history? What excites you, right? Who are the people that are coming to you already that are a really great fit and that you are best served to help? And then I asked her really honestly some hard questions, which is where coaching comes in, having somebody to help you get through those muddy waters and get to the other side so you can have that clear messaging. So we really honed in on what are you trying to do in the future? What are your personal goals? What is your vision for the business? Now, for Addie specifically, I shared with you that she is very qualified to be teaching all of these things about hoof care, nutrition, and breaking things down and reading the labels on your food and all of those things, right? But in addition to that, she is a former rail racer who now is really enjoying success in cowboy mounted shooting. So we discovered, like, we honed in a little bit more, right? Like, this is a little bit more of who you are equipped and excited to help because you can tell them, this is what I've done. I've been there. This is what's worked for me. This is how I got my horse from lame to competing, or how I took a horse that was not mine first and got him to compete at a high level, whatever the case may be. She can tell her story and they can identify with that and then say, oh, she's for me. She did what I'm trying to do, right? So what did we do? Her messaging through that coaching process went from, hey, I'm an all-around equine expert to, hey, I'm Addie and I help amateur cowgirl competitors excel at their sport on sound, healthy horses. I still get excited for her, honestly, when I read that because there's so much clarity just in that one line. There's clarity for her in terms of her business offerings and a filter for her content. And especially there's clarity for her potential customers. When they get onto her website, when they get onto her social platforms, they can see very quickly, is Addie for me? Not just because she knows hoof care, right? Because there are lots of people that know that. But I am an amateur competitor. I compete in timed events in the Western world. Notice that cowgirl competitor component. I want to do well in my sport. I'm willing to invest in myself and my horse because I care about excelling. And the long-term health of my horse is not something that just matters, but is truly important to me. A sound, healthy horse, yes, I'm in. I want that. So now I know Addie is for me. I'm going to start following her. And as I build trust in her, then I get her emails and I'm going to become a customer and buy her courses. Now, I will tell you this. I was planning to say this at the end, but I want to say this now. I'm not pretending like this is like an overnight switch and then all of a sudden you're going to have thousands of buyers. Okay. I'm not saying that at all because like anything else in the world of horses, you all know this, everything is going to take work. Addie's going to continue to serve her people well. She's going to continue to create content that meets them on the buyer's journey that we have talked about here in recent live trainings. So that's absolutely a part of it. But without this clarity, then that first step is what's going to be missed. That first step of them going to their website, going to her social media and seeing instantly if she's for me. That's what we're trying to get here. Now she's getting the right people in the door from the get-go. And then it makes those next steps even easier because she's already qualified them from her messaging. So now she has a guide for her content to help her to really get those right people in. She's using her personal story to build that trust and that connection that's going to also help them become buyers. And through the coaching process, she now has a plan to email her list, not just consistently, but regularly over time. And she has a plan for what's even going to go in there to help her sell her client coaching calls or consulting calls as she has them, and her digital courses, all the things that she's providing. She now has a plan for how that all is going to work together in her messaging. Okay, so number one, that's Addie. All right. Okay, I have one more example for you. And this one is an equine photographer. I've been so blessed to work with a number of equine photographers in the past few years. And this one in particular has been fun because her name is Kara, by the way, with Fast First Photography. Some of you may know her. She's wonderful. And what's been really fun about this coaching process is she came in already a successful equine photographer. That's why many of you probably already know her. She's also doing education with Cowgirls with Cameras. And so she's doing a lot of really cool things already. But where she came in needing clarity was with that education arm. So her portrait work is very successful. She's in Florida, and her line, and actually I got the opportunity to help her with her website last year too. So I've been along with this journey with Kara, and it's been so fun. So we clarified last year really that portrait marketing, where she is the one who creates stunning works of art featuring the horses you know and love. So we got it very clear for people that are coming to our website that she is the one to help you create art for your walls of your horses that you know and love. Okay. And that's important for you to know, because as she is moving into doing more education, because people are coming to her and saying, hey, I like that business model. I love what you're doing, but I don't know if that's going to work for me in my area. Can you help me? I want to transition to in-person sales. So in the photography world, doing the wall art and having an up-leveled customer experience, that all goes together in what they call in-person sales. That's my very elementary description of it for you. Okay. So here's what you need to know. Kara came in not really having clarity on the messaging for the education arm. She's saying, portraits, I feel so good about. I have a process that works and I have marketing that's working, but I need some clear messaging on my education. I really need to help people understand what I am doing and how I'm different, because she's not just your I don't want to say regular. I have an appreciation for all equine photography educators, okay? But she has a specialty. She has a unique thing that she is helping people with, but she didn't really have a clear way to communicate that. So when people were finding her online and coming to her social media, yes, it said equine photography education, but it doesn't go any deeper than that, okay? And we needed to really clarify and qualify so that equine photographers could know that Kara is a person that's going to help them transition or build an in-person sales component, or really complete in-person sales photography business. So again, through that coaching process, through that one-on-one coaching time, we were really able to hone in, and I asked Kara some really often hard, uncomfortable questions, because that's how we get to that clarity on the other side. Sometimes you have to sit with these questions for a minute and really think about, okay, what are the people that are coming to me saying, right? What are their pain points? What's really bothering them about their existing business in her case, okay? Where are they at in their existing photography business? Where are they wanting to go? And how is in-person sales the thing that's going to help them? And how specifically is my mentoring what's going to help get them to that next level? Okay, so as we talked about that at length, then she went from being an equine photographer who does education to being more specific and saying, I help equine photographers build a sustainable business using in-person sales. So you see, again, how much more clear that is, right? It's not just, hey, I'm Kara and I help equine photographers build a business, right? I help equine photographers learn how to take better pictures. It's not even that. They're coming to her. Yes, she has the skills, absolutely, to coach them and teach them with their photography. But her specialty, her unique skill that she's helping people with in education, is building a sustainable business using in-person sales. And then, of course, you can go deeper and tell them exactly what that means, what that's going to mean on the other side for them, how she's helping them, what they're going to build with her. But now she has clarity so that as she builds that social media content and implements the plan that we are putting together in coaching, then she has a filter. Is this content letting people know that this is what I do? Right? Is this content meeting people? Mindset is something that's really big, especially for photographers, for business owners as a whole. But there are some mindset shifts that they have to make as they're moving from this idea of I'm just going to create digital packages and give people their jump drive or email them a link to the photos and they can just download all of them. And then moving from that to an in-person sales where they may be charging higher prices. They definitely are not just emailing a link to the files. They're actually trying to sell art for people's walls. It's a very different process. So there's a lot of mindset shifts they have to make. So now she can create content that speaks directly to them, and it helps them to move through those mindset blocks that they may be having that are keeping them from experiencing success through in-person sales. All of that conversation that Kara and I have had and the talk about where they are, where they're wanting to be, right? Really getting inside of the head of her potential customers, her potential mentoring students. That is all giving her a filter for her content that she can create on social, that she can use in her email marketing, that she can use on her website, right? Her lead magnet. Oh, her lead magnet is going to be so good. She's working on it right now. When it's ready, I'm going to share it with you. So pay attention to my social. It's going to be awesome. So all of that is a filter, okay? So getting very clear on who you are for is really what sets you up for the next thing that I want to tell you about, okay? So number one, we talked about if you're paying attention just to follower numbers, just to subscribers, just to views, then you are missing an important piece, which is being very clear on your messaging and qualifying your potential customers through your messaging. Now, you're also missing out an important piece of strategy. Okay. What often happens if we are just chasing followers, if we're just chasing those numbers without really thinking about how it's going to impact your business as a whole, then you don't have a strategy in place. And that is what's missing for you. You don't have a way that's connecting your social media with your website and your email marketing and really taking your potential customers on a journey with you to become your customer. Right? Because here's what we know. When it comes to marketing, not always, but the average is 8 touches is what it takes for somebody to actually pull the trigger and become a customer. 8 touches. So that means your social media is very important. It means showing up in their inbox is very important. It means the messaging and the journey that they experience on your website is also very important. It all plays together. And if you don't have a strategy in place for that, then you're going to miss the mark. And when you have that viral video and you get to experience, this bulk of followers that all of a sudden are following you, what's next, right? You have these followers. Now what happens? How are you taking them along? How are you taking them along the buyer's journey? How is your email marketing helping to move them in that process? How are you moving them from social media to your email list? How are you moving them from social media to your website to submit that inquiry form to get started and working with you, right? And so that is what we do inside of Take the Reins. That's why it's so important we get that messaging very clear, and then we move on to let's make a strategy that you can actually implement on your own that is not only doable and works for you, but is going to work for the long term, right? It has a long-term strategy in mind. And that's what both Kara and Addie now have. They have a plan for their social media that they can follow. They have an email marketing plan, not just, okay, yeah, I'm going to send an email once a month, but we really sit down and go, okay, let's look at this. What's going to go in those emails? How are we going to outline it, right? How are we going to move them from email friend to customer? What is your plan, right? And we do that together. And then we talk about your website as well. We look at that and say, what's missing? Now that we have this really clear-cut marketing plan, now that we have this really clear messaging, let's look at your website and make sure that we are speaking to those right people that you've now identified. And we do all of that inside of Take the Reins. Now, as I said, this is not a magic formula in terms of if you come in to take the reins and you leave, I'm promising that you're going to get thousands of sales overnight. I'm going to be honest with you. No, you're not, because it still takes work to implement your plan. It just like with working with horses, just like taking pictures, all those things, whatever it is that you are doing in the equine industry, you know that there's no such thing as an overnight success. It's that consistent day in and day out showing up and serving and doing the work that is going to get you the success long term. But what I want you to know is if you're already showing up, you're already spinning your reels, you're already spending time on social, but you are not seeing the return because you don't have clarity, then that's what Take the Reins is going to do for you. It's going to help you to make sure that when you open that app on your phone, when you get into Facebook, when you get into Instagram, wherever it is that you are going, you have an intention, you have a strategy behind your time there. So you know how to measure success. You know how to be able to tell, is this worth your time? Is this working? Is this getting the right people in the door? Is this starting conversations with people that are going to become my customers? That's how you're going to know that this strategy and this plan is working for you. Okay, friends, I hope that seeing these real life examples has really brought this idea to life for you so that you can see what's possible in your own equestrian business. Now, I want to let you know of a couple resources that are available for you. Number one, the show notes will always be at stormlily.com/the episode number. So for this particular episode, it's 127. So if you go to stormlily.com/127 at any time, you will get the highlights of this conversation as well as links to everything that I'm talking about here today. Now, that's why I also want to make sure you know that I have a free resource available for you. One of the things that you heard me talk about in these real life horse businesses is from their clarity in their messaging, they were able to create a resource that is specifically for the people that they want to work with, the ones that are a great fit for them, that they know they can help make a difference. And so if you do not have your lead magnet created yet, if you are still trying to figure out what that should be, I have a free resource for you that I would invite you to grab, and it is a free roadmap to creating a freebie or lead magnet that delivers value and builds trust. You can grab that from the show notes or just head to stormlily.com/freebie, FREEBIE, and grab that, and it's going to ask you some really important questions and help you really think through strategically what your lead magnet should be so that you can get the right people on your list. And the other thing I want to make sure that you know before you go is that Take the Reins was created to help you to get this clarity. I know for many of you as an equestrian entrepreneur, you are saying, Denise, I get it. I agree, but I need some accountability. I need somebody to help me see clearly through the mud and the muck and the mire when I start talking to everybody and I don't realize it. I want somebody to hold me accountable. That is what Take the Reins can do for you. So if you are interested in that, I would love to meet you. I would love to invite you to apply. You can head to stormlily.com/reins to check that out. But again, friends, remember, everything I tell you here in this episode, you can find in one place. That's the show notes. All right. So I so appreciate you being here. I hope this information is equipping and encouraging you to build a business that you love, the one that really is successful for you, that you enjoy walking in to do every day. Again, thanks for being here. If this was helpful to you, please do share it with a friend, share it on social, tag me, leave a review. All of those things will help others to find this resource so that they can get the benefit of their equestrian business growing and being successful as well. And then also it will let me know that I'm creating content that's meeting you where you are and helping you out. Okay, so please do get in touch, share the podcast, and stay tuned for more new episodes. I hope you have an amazing day.